Yeah. So let's just go over a simple thing, because I truly believe success is brought by futility, literally. Yeah. So let's just look at where we seem to be. Like Jesus supposedly says, we're in this world, but we're not of the world. So in this world, there's time. Yes. I mean, a lot of people, how people drive on the highway is time based. They have to be somewhere, or everything like that. So time has a huge influence, let's say. And we sort of start as this action figure, this is the start of time in a sense, yeah? There's a whole lot of before, but without us knowing it, because we start as a body, so to speak, yeah? So the non-existent body is now seemingly an existent body, and there's the start of, let's say, Paul. So Paul isn't at the beginning, it's made up. It takes time, yeah? And it takes time to reinforce Paul, because Paul needs a lot of reinforcing, because there isn't a Paul, yeah? So it needs a whole lot of reinforcing. And you could see it that a lot of the mental process says you was a Paul, and then you're gonna be a Paul, therefore you are a Paul now. Yeah. So this mental process of claiming that happens, let's call the contact here conscious contact. Yes. Let's say consciousness is in contact. We're not mentioned at all yet. There's consciousness is in contact, and then there's that contact initiates the mental state's reaction or response. Yeah. And what it does is it claims the contact. So it's now you that's in contact. Yeah. Not consciousness, you. So now, and the you is pictured as a thing. Yes. This thing. Yeah. Now, consciousness, when in contact here, may move through a thing, but it's not a thing. Yes. Like the thing, the body is not conscious, but you can be conscious of the body. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So now Paul has been manufactured, but it happened in time. And it has to be renewed like every second. So there's an arising of this idea of self by the claiming of the conscious contact. Yeah. This is just what's going on. Now, we start as a product of the claiming of the conscious contact. So we can only see from, we're not looking back, we're seeing from something. And this mental process concerning this identification, we call selfing, yes? So the selfing goes on, and by the time you notice selfing, you're noticing it as a self, yes? So the knot that you could have avoided now is where you're starting from, and you're looking for ways to unknot it, let's say. Yeah. So mostly when there's a recognition that you may be in something, the only possibility is to get out. Yeah. Which is a duality of how the head sees things. It sees things in and out, dark or bright. Yes. It's either or usually. And so this mental claiming that has you as a long-lasting, separate, independent entity, I do not believe that a process in time can null and void that process in time, because I believe that is the quickest process in time. Yeah, is the mental claiming of the conscious contact. Now, if this is the case, so the idea of you comes out of this mental claiming, and then we look for other processes to maybe undo that or make it better or whatever. Yes. But every process afterward is now infected with the first idea, the first process, which is there's a you. Yeah. You. So even when you're looking at there may be a non-you, you're looking at it from a you idea. Yeah. So here's this thing is like stamped, and there you go, off on the time track. Yes, but it's stamped. And so the next, let's say you have all these processes, and then you run into at one point, because let's say you're feeling empty or not, this can't be all there is, or irritable restlessness or discontent. And then there's these movements in time called processes that you try to do something new or undo something that's old. Yes, yes. But each of those processes is infected by the first process. So the identification travels through all the other processes. Yeah. And all the other processes, it's like you have a world of car washes, but there's one stain no matter how great the car wash is, cannot be erased. It cannot be washed off. Yeah. So it travels through car washes, it travels through investigation, it travels through peak experiences, it travels through epiphanies. You'll notice that when an epiphany ends, it usually coincides with I'm having an epiphany. Yeah, there's the thought I'm having the epiphany, and suddenly the epiphanying stops. That's a very easy one to notice because you've been displaced out of time in the epiphany. Yes? And then there's an like an information bulletin from the mental state, and it's you are having a great experience out of time, and then time the clock just starts there. Now, most people don't see that. They want to be there to get it. They want to be there to experience their own absence, and they'll tolerate tons of winters of that absence with the hopes that they're going to be there to get it. That is awesome because the futility that produces is one of the greatest lessons if you can read it. It's such a great lesson because you're not going to get it. You've heard about that great party. Every time you go there, it sucks. You've been trying to get there and still have it great. You just haven't been able to pull it off. And finally, the message collapses and you stop looking for another vehicle. Yeah, it's not the vehicle, it's you. So you're the vehicle. So there's a recognition. So then maybe these kind of disappointments lead you to hearing something called non-duality. And then it can be almost music to your ears because it answers a lot of the stuff that the stuff you were applying wasn't answering. Yes. In other words, my wanting to get out of something made it a bigger in that I was in. It wasn't working. Just me trying to get out because I never realized I'm not in. You see, it never crossed the head at all. The head just I'm in, and the only thing I can do is get out, but I'm not in. This is the great news. So the great wisdom of no escape is there's no escape because you're not in it. Yeah. Fantastic. Now you're on to something. And then maybe you run into a guy named Ramana Maharshi and you read, and then he says, the greatest mystery, and now you believe Ramana had revealed, had seen through a lot of mysteries. You know what I mean? It wasn't Ted at the meeting down the street. It was Ramana Maharshi. So when he says the greatest mystery, wow, this is going to be off the charts. The greatest mystery being ourselves reality. What? What is it? Is reality wanting to attain reality? Now, no one would sign up for reality wanting to attain reality, but many people sign up for Paul attaining reality. Yes? But Paul is reality, not as Paul appears, but as what I am. Yeah? So the greatest mystery is Paul, aka reality, using reality to attain reality. It's like a fucking explosion when that shoe drops because uh That which is looking for reality obviously doesn't know its reality. Obviously, yes. It has masked reality with this cloak of a non-existent thing being the existent thing, and now the existent thing is seeking for a reality or salvation. Yeah. And he says, if this is the case, and he's basically saying this is the case, the spiritual practice, they use the word your spiritual practices themselves are reinforcing the non-existent thing. How can they destroy it? Yes. What is it reinforcing the non-existent thing to be? An existent thing. Yeah. It doesn't matter what you're doing. The head is using what you're doing to reinforce that you are an existent thing doing it. When in fact, the truth is the body is a non-existent thing. And you have called the body the awareness or the consciousness that it's appearing in. Yeah. And we think the body has an attribute called conscious or aware when the body is an appearance in a giant space of awareness and stuff. Yeah. So getting back to where we never left, which is a non-existent thing, realizing the existent thing, which is the unreal, as not you, that is reality finally starting to look at what's not real. Yeah. Instead of reality being harnessed to look for itself, it's now free to see from itself the reality of the unreal. Yes. Instead of we looking from the unreal, trying to find reality, we're going to negate the unreal from reality. That's the message, in a sense. Yeah. It's almost like if you went to a spiritual chiropractor, they adjust you, yes? 5 minutes later, you're on the table because the muscles of the spiritual doership pull it right out. So you got to get another adjustment. So this is like satsang. You just got to get a couple adjustments and then the fucking spine will stay in place. And you won't have to understand anything. You'll sense it. You'll feel it. Yes? Yeah. You will feel the relief that comes with seeing what you're not from what you are. You will be filled with it. It's not a relief that comes after a sleepless night of dread and anxiety. It's a relief before all that relief and the opposite. Yes, you'll sense it, and then in this case, I have never. I hope, I don't know, maybe not. What if anything swayed away from this? It wasn't me anyway. But the negation worked. Yeah, it just worked in my case because the mental logic was still making pretzels out of everything. Yeah. And then it just nabbed it. It caught it. Yeah. I saw the insanity of the mental logic, not in the mental logic, but outside of it. Yeah. So this is why we're here. And if you go to a talk from 15 years ago, it's the same fucking talk in a lot of ways. Yeah. Because I'm not moving from this. Because if you don't see this, you're looking from it. What we're describing here, if you don't see it, if your awareness is captured by it, you're going to be looking from it, and you may be using awareness to look for awareness. Yeah. I rest my case, Bamo. Yeah. I'll be back tomorrow at the same court with the same conviction. Yeah. So, yeah, that's the point. I saw futility. Cannot get out of what I'm not in. Just can't do it. Yeah, it's impossible. No matter how much I want to believe I'm in, and no matter how much I desire to get out, I cannot get out of what I'm not in. And I am not a thing. Yeah. I may look like a thing. I may answer when the thing gets called to dinner. I may do this and that, but I'm not a thing. So I am the seeing or the awareness of what I'm not. Yeah. There you go. So as Ron, we've been doing this a lot lately. We have the smallest book. It's like one page, this one page. I'm going to send it all out to everyone. It's pretty easy. But I'm just been running with this for months because I see no reason to move from it. So here, it is false to speak of realization. This is from the teachings of Ramana Maharshi. Yeah. It is false to speak of realization. What is there to realize? And with a question mark. So obviously you're meant to dwell. You're not meant to answer. The response to a question mark isn't to answer, it's to stop. Yes, you just sit here. What is there to realize? The real is as it is always. Wow, that doesn't give me any room for exemptions. No, it doesn't. The real is as it is always. How to realize it? All that is required. What? Okay, here comes the requirements. Fasting, fucking purification, sacrifice. If you have a first child, a daughter, have to sacrifice, a lot of martyrdom. No, what is it? All that is required is this. We have realized the unreal. Hallelujah. Hmm? Where do we as this, what bin are we in? Are we in the real bin or the unreal bin? I would say you and I are in the unreal bin. Yeah. We're not attempting to see the real from the unreal. We're going to see the unreal from the real. You see, very different, very different. And it doesn't turn into the other one. It doesn't turn in. It's very established. You're going to use the real, that which we are, to see the unreal. That is the realization that is required. The required realization is to see the unreal, yeah, from the real. And that which is calling the unreal real is that which is calling the unreal real is in the unreal. Yeah. Yeah. You as this thing is not in the real. You as this thing goes in the other bin, the unreal. Really, that's all that is required. I've been entertaining this for 20 something years. I haven't gotten another lesson in the mail. You have a feeling constantly reinforced by seeing what you're not, because what you're not is being displayed on the fucking mental screen all day. All day is the the wanderings, the all this is all splatted is the unreal. Yes? And what's seeing it is the real. Not the seer of it, that's in the unreal thing. Yeah? Not awareness claimed, that's not it. That the claiming of the awareness, the claiming is in the unreal, the awareness never can be put in the unreal. Yes? It is as it is always. Yeah, as it said there. The real is as it is always. So if that's the case, what the hell are we seeing most of the time during the day? Are we seeing the real, or are we seeing an appearance in the real that's appearing seemingly to be real? I think that's the case. Yeah. So now it's not going to appear real to you anymore. That's all. Not the you that you are not, which is this, because that is wants to have a thing called real and unreal. They're both in the unreal category. Yeah. You just see the activity of what you're not. And in that seeing of that activity, you get a sense of what you are, which is the active awareness of being reality. Yes. There you go. And thank God for us. Could you imagine in another projection of a dream, it would be not 80? We've got not 2. It's a fucking pretty good class. Yeah. Not 80 would be difficult to get out of not 80, but it's not 2. What is the 2? The unreal, waking up to seeing the unreal. By describing the unreal as unreal, it lends itself a reality. So the voice that is talking about the objective you as a subjective you is not the real you. It goes in the bin with the objective self. Yes? Both of them get thrown in that bin. I've seen people who are super clear about the objective self, and they're fucking crazy still. They have no peace because now the subjective self is ripping them a new one constantly. Yeah. But now this message is to see that which is that made up condition that says it's the condition that's looking at the what condition your condition is in. Yeah. So it's going over you as an object as if it's different than you as an object, which it isn't. Yes? Both in the bin, unreal. There you go. Does it say much anymore? No. It stops there. It's 5 sentences. False to speak of realization. In other words, it's a mistake in a way. What is there to realize? The real is as it always is. You can't realize that. You are it, yes? You are that which is always realized. Yeah. How to realize it? Question mark. All that is required is this. Answer. We have realized the unreal. There you go. You've all graduated. Yes? There's only one thing left, he says. We were in a condition of regarding as the real the unreal. That's all. We took the unreal to be real. I do not believe you took it to be real. I believe the head has taken it to be real. Yes? And if you're going to convince that head that takes the unreal to be real, good luck. I wouldn't waste another breath. Just see it as not you. Yeah. Yeah. Any questions or share or whatever?
Heather had her. Oh, Heather. Hey, yeah, Heather has her hand up. Hi, Heather.
Hi.
Wow. Heather. What's going on? Where are you?
Heather, you muted yourself. Sorry, Heather, you muted yourself.
Yeah. I'm near Sarah Fell. So I know this is a non-duality session, but I thought I might ask about the center part, the middle.
Heather, you muted yourself again.
We lost you.
No,
yeah,
no,
the center part of the serenity prayer, because grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can. What can we change?
The bed sheet. Your diet.
We can?
Yeah. You believe it, so just do it. If you believe you have free will, exert it. Do the next right thing. It's all part of the dreaming. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't like that the bed sheet, a comforter was put on the bed and the flannel blankets were taken off. Yes. So before tonight, after this talk, I'm going to slip the other ones back on with the hopes that I can have the lights dim enough so that Amelia doesn't recognize the change. Do I believe I'm the one doing all that? No. But is there a belief that there's something doing all that? Yes. The action figure believes it's a doer. Yes? Yes. So, yeah.
And accept. So we accept a lot. We have to accept a heck of a lot that we can't change, but I guess there's some we can change.
Well, this is dreaming. Yeah. So if something is empty, it won't be hard to move. Yeah. Yeah. This is the thing. Raman, this is from how I see it. Ramana Maharshi was presented with, is there free will or is it predetermined, everything? And then it says, maybe there's a sense of free will and predetermination. So he says, listen, if there's a sense of individuality, he does not say if there's an individual. He says if there's a sense of individuality, which is the perfume this mental state concocts. You have a sense of being an individual. Now, when we feel that sense of being an individual, it's just obvious that there's an individual putting out that sense. Yes? But in this case, there isn't an individual. There's just a sense of individuality. Yeah. And if there is a sense of individuality, which there is, there's going to be a sense of free will. Yeah. So in the dreaming, what you know or not know, there's a sense of individuality. There is. That's what gives it fucking meaning. We're not giving it so much meaning. It's built to have somewhat a meaning. And in that sense of individuality, there is free will. So on that action figure level, let the sense of individuality do the next fucking right thing. How's that? This isn't like a neutered passiveness. Oh, no. Do the best you can, realizing you're really not doing anything. Yes? Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, you get into non-duality. I remember every time you give talks about not being a doer, they thought that happened just at that moment, the person. I'm not a doer. And they go, I'm just going to lay on a couch all day. You've never been a doer. There's never been a doer. It's not like you were the doer and then suddenly you've been fired and you're not the doer. There's never been a doer as we think. Yes? Yes. So you wake up,
Thank you.
out of the dream at night. At night, usually you don't think you had any will. Everything was happening. Yes? Yes. And then when you wake up, you realize, hey, that wasn't a real tiger or whatever. Yes. So here you're in the dreaming. Uh, like if you're new in recovery, this is what I hate when people try to learn non-duality and then enter recovery. Because now they're confused about, well, if there isn't a person, there's no alcoholism. There's alcoholism in the manufacturing of a person. Yeah. And if you don't deal first things first, you're going to be a drunk non-dualist. Yes? Yeah. You see it? The subtleties of hearing the message and actually having it interpreted from a different point of view than the head. It's a living interpretation you get. You do not get a flash flood interpretation. Oh, I'm not the doer. That means it doesn't mean anything, actually. It means the fact is you're not the doer, and there's going to be a lot of doing. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Paul.
Yes, you're welcome.
Ready for another question?
Yes.
Hi, Claire.
Hi, thank you.
You're welcome.
I just wanted to, I sometimes travel well and sometimes travel rough. And the last 2 days, I've had a couple of things happen where my physiology has just gone into full-on panic, fear. I'm just flooded. And I go straight into, how do I get rid of this? It's like, I still don't want pain. If I'm in a lot of pain, I want to get rid of it straight away. So I'm interested to hear what you say about that.
Well, first, to go with the spirit of this meeting, ask who is it that has been traveling lighter and who is it that's been traveling heavy. Yeah. So you two trends of experiences you shared, heavy and light, but there was the one that I like to question is who is it that was traveling heavy and who is it that was traveling light? Are you that? Or is that made up? I believe if that's made up, it's best to notice that, and it has a much stronger effect on the other two of traveling heavy and traveling lighter. Now, if you're in pain, physical pain, emotional pain,
Yeah, just like fear and just completely stirred up.
I
Like,
would do service. If it's that active in you, do service. Put yourself out there, not to people you know, but to a situation like a soup kitchen or something. You'll have a direct experience very quickly being out of the S of self. You will. Service is here in this dreaming, service has the best batting average I've seen. Yeah. Yeah, instead of sitting there trying to figure it out, not realizing that which is stirring the pot is the head that's saying it wants to have it calm. Yes? Yeah. It's all about, see, if someone comes to my house and they're all chilled, I'm probably not going to say anything about service. But when someone shares and say, I'm in this thing, just do service. That's the best, I would say. So, almost like a spontaneous doctor. I do it quick. I just notice, okay, service. Would I say it to everyone here? No, I wouldn't. Yeah. It's matters you professed where what was going on. And by hearing that, where you seem to be, the best advice would be to do service because you'll get out of your head. Yes? Yeah, yeah. Or if your life is dramatic, watch a better drama on TV like Bloodline, Netflix. It's going to be much better than they have more production value and better actors than you and the people that you're having a drama with. Just fucking watch that drama and get relief from what you call your drama. It worked all the time. I used it with 2 knee operations. I watched 2 seasons of Bloodline. It was great. Yeah. Took my attention right off of me and the knee and put it in John, the fucked up addict alcoholic. I could watch with glee his demise in life because it was on Netflix. Yeah. So, yes, that would be my suggestion, seriously. Yeah. Yeah. Then people say, well, distraction doesn't work. Yes, it does. It does work. Yeah. It matters if you know that the head is claiming it and is going to make you guilty, but later you can use it. It can be used with great results. Yes. Yeah. We had a thing in recovery called hospital and institution. So you had to stay sober for 6 months where I live, and then you could enter this service thing where you would bring a meeting into a facility where they couldn't get out. Yes, and you'd make a commitment for years, really, but once a month. So I did one every Thursday, every 4th Thursday of the month. So we did Thanksgiving every year. Yeah, and during the week of that meeting, maybe I was completely up the ass of self about something, yeah? And reading this philosophies not working, nothing was working. And I would go to this meeting, and the most that shit could withstand of the meeting would be maybe 10 minutes. And then I would be relieved of the bondage of the story of Paul, and I'd be available to what was going on in the room. Yes? Not so much the individuals, but the presence of what was happening. Yes, it was awesome. And it worked I had it for 11 or 12 years. It worked like a fucking, just worked. No matter how, I was waiting to hear if I had AIDS, and you had to wait for 3 weeks, and the head could have had a field day, but I would go to this meeting and completely forget all about it. Yes. Yes. And how real can it be if you can forget it so quickly? Literally. How real is the fucking thing if it seems to disappear like that? I had it with the satsangs. I would go to satsang, sinus infection, whatever, didn't feel shit for the whole hour. Yeah. Then I'd come out of it, and then the head would regroup, and then, oh, sinus, like that. But the amazing how quickly it was forgotten, I realized it had to be remembered. Yeah. My head was in the business of remembering it. When it got used in this Zoom or doing a talk, I forgot to remember it. Yeah. And it was like gone. A lot of the shit has to be remembered. And I mean remember like a second later. Yeah. So when something distracts you, your head stops remembering it, and then it's forgotten, and you get a fucking vacation. Yes. Yeah. That's implying something much bigger and larger, but it's the same principle, exact same principle. So something that seems to be bothering you, the role your head in it has is remembrance. It's remembering it. It's going back to it. And if you can distract it, its obvious emptiness will be obvious because it will seem to be forgotten like that. Yes? It may return because the head may start remembering again. But once you see that it's absent, it doesn't have the effect as it used to. Yeah? You see it? Yeah. Paul is remembered. I'm not remembering Paul. The head is remembering Paul. Yeah. When the head goes to sleep at night, I don't choose not to remember Paul. It stops remembering Paul. Yeah. I get a great break. I wake up. When I wake up, it hasn't started remembering Paul for a little bit. Then it kicks in and starts remembering Paul. there goes the day. And then if there's a lot of shit that's not going on, the only way it can seem to go on is to remember it. I'm not remembering that shit. The system is remembering. Yeah. Where do I become the fucking owner of that? I'm not. It's imposing itself on me because I'm not in a raw event here. I'm looking at everything through glasses. Yes. We have a space suit called the action figure, and the awareness has to go through that glass. And sometimes the glass distracts or directs awareness. Instead of being in a field, you start directing it to certain things in the field. And then there are things the head loves to remember. It does, yes. One of them is you. So St. Francis supposedly said, it's in self-forgetting that you're reborn. What is the opposite of remembering? Is forgetting, yes? So you and I, we are responding to a lot of remembering. Yeah. It would be wise to understand that. Yeah. Because hopefully what's actually going on now with your understanding can easily override what's not happening because it has a quality what's not happening does not have, which is it is happening. Yeah. Even though it may not be happening much, I am sitting in a bed looking into his thing. My temperature is pretty cool. The cat, I can't believe, isn't at the door asking to come in. All like this. For me to remember that person fucked with me last week, it would have to be work. Yes? Yeah. Once you start getting anchored where you are, which that's the only place you can be, you have a lot of built-in immunity. You don't have to take flower remedies and shit for this. You have built-in immunity to a lot of the shit that seems to be attacking you because you're roaming around in the world of what's not happening where anything can happen. So you can get hit with a safe when you don't have a safe. Just goes on and on. Yes? That's what, early in AA, that's what they tell you. Hey, if you're flipping out, just look where your feet are. Just, fucking triangulate. My feet are here. I'm not in World War III. Yeah, so that which cannot be forgotten does not need to be remembered. That which cannot be forgotten does not need to be remembered. It's a different recognition. It's not an effort to remember. It's an acknowledgement of it's always so here. All that, here it is. The real is as it is always. That's not an effort. I'm not efforting to make the reality always. It's always real. That's why if you do service, you'll forget yourself. Yes? You get absorbed in the bloodline, you'll forget yourself. And you'll line yourself up with billions of other people who have forgotten you and are not in the business of remembering you. They're not. Yeah. And you can you'll get to see your true size. I call some of my friends up. Are you remembering me right now? No. Okay. Hey, when's the last time you remembered me? No, that was a while ago, about 5 years ago. Okay. So I'm holding the only vigil of remembrance of Paul. Yes. I can snuff out that artificial light and join in the light. Yes. It's in self-forgetting. Yeah. Self is not going to be able to self-forget. That's remembering. It's in self-forgetting. You forget self because you're not self. Self is an idea. It's implied by the act of selfing. You forget, you may hear the selfing, but you don't see a self. You never have, you never will. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, take it easy, honey, if you can. And if you can't, make it easier for someone else. It will. I mean, people, if someone's hungry and you're handing them a sandwich and your head is thinking, well, I'm doing this for a selfish reason, the person getting the sandwich doesn't give a shit how you feel. They need the bologna and the mayonnaise. Yeah. So the idea of you and what you mean, and when it doesn't matter, just give them the food. Yeah. It'll be awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's you asked for advice, I gave you advice. That's what I do. Yeah. Yeah. It's not rote. This is a moment to moment thing. I have a lot of respect for you. So if you feel like you're up something, this is the way to, call up the divine proctologist for a little bit. Just he'll pop it right out. Yeah. Yeah. Being out isn't how the head says it's going to be out. When you're out of the head. When you're in the head, it's constantly telling you how it's going to be when it's out. No, you want to get out of the head. You don't want the head to get out. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Claire, thank you very much.
Thank you. I've got I don't know why this has come up, but it makes me laugh that the Buddha goes into a bank and the bank teller says to Buddha, please can you identify yourself? And he pulls out a mirror and goes, yep, that's me. Always makes me laugh.
The Buddha. Well, anyone else?
No, Paul, that's it.
That's it. Wow.
Oh, Eric's coming in. Hey, Eric.
Hey, I was just going to share. My experience today was what you were talking about. I mean, this morning there was a lot of anxiety, on these different topics. And health, finance, money, the car, all the stuff, and it's all very time based. And how am I going to get all this done? And anyway, in the afternoon, I went out on an errand and did the usual thing of enjoying talking to the clerk in the store and strangers, whatever. And there was still some anxiety there, but on the way home, somehow it all just kind of dissolved and was forgotten. And I was in that open space again. I went up to the botanical garden and talked to some people that are volunteers there too. But it's like, what happened to all that mixed master of incredibly serious stuff? I'll share this metaphor I thought of. I don't know if this is helpful, but it's kind of cool. Last night I saw a video about in the carnivals or fairs, they have these this game where you can try to grab a toy with this
Yes.
hand.
Yes.
And it's kind of like the mind is like that. It just grabs stuff and says, my money, my body, my business, my time, and it's out of nowhere, and then it just it disappears out of nowhere. And it's kind of like the service and the distracting are really just kind of arbitrary categories. It seems to me. I mean, talking to strangers, I don't know if that's service or distraction, and it doesn't matter. It's somehow it all happens regardless of whatever you call it. the dissolving, the disappearing, the letting go. And it wasn't some sort of program I was following. But yeah, and then I come home and it's like, what happened to all those problems? I thought, there's not enough time in my life to fix all this. It's just gone. So
Yes.
that tells you something.
It does. Tells you a lot. Yeah.
So I just thought I'd share that about, that seemingly real serious anxiety can just poof, disappear.
Yes, exactly. It should always make you suspicious of reality if it can disappear so quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. You and I give everything all the meaning it has.
Exactly.
There you go. Well, listen, thank you for saving me 3 minutes of saying goodbye. That's good. Got 9 minutes left. Anyone else? Did we Judy is still here. I thought I would have ran her out by now. That's good. All right, Judy. Yeah, you get to see the secret handshake. Yeah, you missed it. You have to come back. Oh, Esther's made a guest appearance. Oh, she wants to say hello. Esther, how are you?
Good, Paul. How are you?
I'm good.
I listened. I've been listening to the Saturday talk and what you're saying now, and I'm trying to straighten up my place and organize, and I have too much stuff for the amount of space, and there's a lot of agitation because you just want to get out because you can't do anything, and I'm just trying to see what you're saying while I'm doing things like that and postponing, and I don't know. I don't know.
That's good. If you don't know, you're going to know shortly. If you know, it's going to take a long time. Yeah, your head may be thinking, I'm going to go on the Zoom so I don't have to do the whatever, clean up the room. Just clean up the room a little bit. Yeah.
But
Sometimes,
like the agitation that comes with identifying that you don't know what to do with the stuff, and you think that you're one day gonna need it, so you can't get rid of it, and they don't make them like that anymore, and
honey, in the overall thing, it's much ado about nothing, though, eh? Yeah, yeah. In your head, you may have 5 too many pants, but you'll probably still have 5 too many pants tomorrow. It's not the end of the world. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sometimes things can wait. Yeah, it's just I try to wait till the last moment. Usually that's the case. People were kind of thinking about this trip to Joshua Tree, and they were getting uneasy because we weren't doing anything. But it worked out already. Yeah. So, but yeah, honey. And if you want, get someone you know to help you. I need, see, I cannot. Have you ever been with someone? I used to go out with this woman, and if I had to clean the kitchen, it would have taken 4.5 hours. She could do it in like 15 minutes. It was incomprehensible. I just could not, I cannot do it. Yeah. So maybe you bring a friend in, and they may be able to organize or tell you how to put things where much easier and not have it to be a huge affair. Yeah. Yeah. So
There's a
yeah,
name. They call that
thank you.
body doubling.
body doubling.
Yeah, like for like ADHD, because if someone's real efficient like that, they're probably not. But body doubling, yeah, having a friend there, like to help you keep you on task and stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
exactly. Yeah.
Cool.
'Cause- Yeah, I just because obviously some people see hoarding does not make you a hoarder. There's
Yeah.
just hoarding, let's say.
Yeah.
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 And then the hoarding has a great value when it brings up all the owning and the hoarder and everything, so you can see what you're not. So what you think is a drag is being used as a great lesson. Yeah, a lot of
Totally.
the time. So you're not, don't judge the classroom by where the furniture is. You're in a classroom in a sense, and stay alert in the I don't know. You'll find out a lot of stuff. Yeah. I somebody, when I pass away, all of you are going to get a great piece of leather bags from all the collections of leathers I have made. Yeah. So all that collecting leathers, finding them in different countries, different places, and bringing them all in one place, you're going to be a beneficiary of it. Yes. So there. Yes. Seriously.
Well,
I
yeah.
can't even, when I buy a leather bag, I don't even use it usually. It's just so cool. I put it away and I know it's going to be used. Yeah.
I got like a synthesizer under the Christmas tree right now that a synthesizer friend gave me, and it's sitting there, and I can't wait to use it. But I probably will use it for a minute or two.
There you go. It's just the way it goes. I mean, seriously.
It's but when Nestor said, I don't know if that was the best.
What I like about what it triggers in the head, because uh, non-duality will bring the head out in the open. It will. And then you can greet it with, I'm not that. It's great. Yes.
Yeah.
Because it wants to give meaning to so much shit. And it's going to keep giving meaning to so much shit. What you're going to do is not give it much meaning.
Yeah.
It's going to try to give a lot of meaning to a lot of shit. You're not going to train it otherwise. You're just not going to give it meaning. Yeah. While it's giving everything else meaning. You're not. This is how you travel later, through a hoarding house or something.
Yeah. Through machinations. Yeah.
So, yeah. So,
Awesome, awesome.
all right. I'm gonna go, I think. Yes. I gotta go buy a leather bag maybe after this.
Nice.
Motivated. I wish I had 80 shoulders so I can put them on, but it's
You got to come hang with us. All the guys at our work have it, like 5 bags, 6 bags.
I- Amelia has some great leather bags, women bags. Yes.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, Wobie Bukowski. I do not see you, but hello and goodbye. It looks like a panda or something in the back. Esther, as always, nice to see you, honey. Thanks for coming and saying hello. Yep. David Lowe. Yeah. Mary Champagne. Claire and Sydney. You're a lifetime member of Zen Bitch Slap, honey. Yes. Yeah. John, Florida. As always. Kathleen. Do not say she's from Delaware. She's in Pennsylvania. Mike Clark. Ernie. A little bit of willingness goes a long way. Mia.
Thanks, Paul.
Yep. Annette. Nice to see you, Annette. And thank you for the one, everyone who's, someone sent me a large amount of sinus package. Very good.
That was me.
It was. Oh, thank you, honey. Yes, very. And 2 drops of the stuff in each.
That's what I do.
All right, good. Nina, as always, nice to see you. She's in, yeah. Stephen Mack, on having never left. Alan Olson, the man who never got it. Very good. Keith's iPhone. Nice to see you, Keith.
Hey.
Yep. Frank in Tucson. Ah, nice to see you, bro. You got the mayonnaise supply? Everything's good?
Oh, I'm all set now, my friend. You have no idea.
All right. That's good. I'm happy for you.
I'm like a Jewish deli in New York now.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Susan Harris. Eric. Thank you, Eric from Vista. Yeah, I'll let you know when we're down there. We're gonna have do the Zoom Saturday from Joshua Tree on the 20th, I think the 25th. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'll text you or something to get details.
Yeah. We'll tell you where we are and you can come down if you like.
Be nice.
Yeah. David Bitterman. Nice to see you, my friend. I
Good
hope
to
we
see you as well.
maybe we'll see each other in the spring back
I
east.
hope so, for sure. What was the sinus treatment? I'm just on the tail end of a cold. What was the sinus treatment she sent you?
A way of cleaning, not going all in, but cleaning this part with
was it?
It's a neti pot.
Is it the machine? Is it the one that does it for you, or like the neti?
No.
Oh,
It's like a neti pot, but it's a nice design that it works really easily. And then I put 2 drops of tea tree oil and 2 drops of oregano oil.
Okay.
Oil of oregano.
I didn't want to derail things, but I was going in Costco the other day. I saw they have like a pump, like a pump thing. It's like a neti pot that does it for you. You don't even have to do it yourself. You put it up to your face. I was like, what? It's like $100 with pods.
Industrial.
It's unreal.
Does it once and then your sinuses are last forever.
Anyways, cool. Thank you, man. Yeah, I was curious.
All right, Judy Love. Great, nice to see you.
It was great.
Thank you. Graham, my friend in Spain. Jim Elliott. There he is. The man, the myth, the mystery. Jimbo. I have a nice, I always like the Aussies. We got Jim and Claire, and we got David when he's here and others. Yeah. All right. I'll say, hey, thank you for today, and I'll see you soon.
Thanks, everyone. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
No, tomorrow is
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
All right. See you guys.
Night. Cheers.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks, everyone.